What the receiver gets is the report. That's all they have. They don't see the back end. They don't see our work file. They see what we deliver to them, which is the report. And if the grammar is atrocious, I'm telling you folks, your credibility goes down.
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach Podcast.
Minisode.
Let's play a little game, see if you can see what's wrong with this. Quote, comps 1 through 3 was chosen for their compatibility to the sub. Unquote. That is an actual phrase from an actual report that I have in front of me. I want to pause here and remind you that we're sponsored by ANOW software. ANOW, of course, is the software that I use to manage everything in my appraisal office. That includes all the orders. That includes the business itself. Check them out, folks. Go to anow.com. It's ANOW.com. Well, folks, what do you do when you have an excellent employee who has a lot of potential? Let's say it's a trainee. You're moving through the ranks, and they've got some real problems with their grammar, with their spelling. Now, spelling's easy, right? Spelling, most of these products that we use, I use a la mode in my business. It has a great spell checker. I know many of the others, ACI, ClickForms, some of the others obviously have spell check as well. That's a very common thing. That's an easy one to overcome. But what if you have a problem with grammar? What if they grew up in a place that, like I grew up in, like Blackfoot, Idaho? and sometimes our grammar is a little bit backward. Maybe you're dealing with somebody, and not that this is indicative, but doesn't have a college degree, for example, or just kind of struggled through school, or just for whatever reason has some challenges on that end. And again, it doesn't, just a college degree in and of itself does not change things. Trust me. I hired and trained and brought up through the ranks an individual years ago who had a college degree, and I'll just put it this way. I'm going to keep things anonymous here, but the report that I'm looking at right now was one of his, and he struggles. He always has with grammar. And sometimes it's a bit of a challenge to get it and to get it right. What do you do with an individual that has the skills but doesn't have the grammar? Well, unfortunately, I don't have a magic bullet. I don't have a bean that you can feed them and everything will be great again. But I do have a couple of ideas on some things that you can utilize. We live in a world of great technology. We live in a world of education. We call it the information age. There's information out there, folks, and it's awesome. I want to pause here and talk to you about another awesome piece of technology. And then when we get back, I want to share with you some ideas, some things that you might be able to do that probably will not solve the problem, but will help. Speaking of helping, ANOW software helps me every single day know exactly where I am for the week, for the month, for the year, and for each of the orders that I complete. Folks, this is a great company who really watches out for appraisers. During the pandemic, within days of the pandemic hitting and the changes with the GSEs and the desktops and exteriors where it would have normally been an interior, they came out with a great tool called the walkthrough tool, which we have utilized not just through the pandemic, but also with our private appraisal work and do a walkthrough-less appraisal. What an awesome idea. What an awesome thing that ANOW is watching out for appraisers. Check them out by going to anow.com. Let me spell that for you. It is ANOW.com. All right, folks, welcome back to the program. Dustin Harris hanging out in the podcast chair. We're talking today about these great employees that you might have, these great trainees that go through the process, but they can't write a damn sentence to save their life, right? And it's frustrating because you want to put out professional work. Now, it's one thing to be able to use spell check, but it's a whole other thing. How do you change someone's grammar? It's such a challenge. And some people, they just don't even know, right? They don't even know they have bad grammar. Granted, folks, I'm the first one to raise my hand. You can't see me, but I'm raising my hand. I don't have the best grammar either. I get it. I understand. I've had to work on it. My writing is much better than my speaking, as you know. If you've read my blogs, if you've listened to my podcast, you know that I speak like backwoods, and that's okay, right? But when you're putting out a report, when you're putting out the final product, and this is our product, right? I mean, granted, our product is the appraisal process, but what the receiver gets is the report. That's all they have. They don't see the back end. They don't see our work file. They see what we deliver to them, which is the report. And if the grammar is atrocious, I'm telling you, folks, your credibility goes down. What do you do in those situations? Well, folks, there is some great technology out there. There's some great classes out there. I mean, simply go into a free system like YouTube can actually help greatly, but let me share with you a couple of others out there that might be of help if you're in this situation. There's a great company out there called Udemy. It's spelled Udemy. All kinds of classes. Go to Udemy right now and just type in grammar writing. That's it. Just grammar writing, and look at the numbers of classes that come up. For $10, folks, you can have a 2.5-hour class on how to improve your grammar. Lynda is another one out there, Lynda. Teachable, another one. Grammarly is a great program out there that you can run everything through. Folks, frankly, that's where I would start. It's probably the least expensive thing to do. Now, there's a free version of Grammarly. There's a paid version. I don't know which one you're going to need. You'll try the free version. And if you need to upgrade, that's fine. But basically what this would do is any paragraph, any sentence, any writing that your trainee or your employee is going, or you, maybe this is you, right? Maybe I'm describing you, and that's okay. But you would take that verbiage, put it in Grammarly, and it will give you suggestions. It will fix your grammar. It will make things so much easier to read. A shout out to Nick, a member of my dream team, for this next one. It's called Skillshare.com, Skillshare. Folks, you don't have to suffer through this challenge. There are ways to remedy it. Maybe as an employer, you want to pay for that opportunity for them to get some education. Maybe that is a little bit of a bonus. Maybe that helps them to explain or understand why it is that you think this is so important. Folks, there are so much we live in the information age. Don't suffer through bad grammar. It's so important that we, as professionals, put out professional work. Speaking of professional work, I've got all kinds, folks, of classes on my website, and they're all free to my All-Star members. I'm telling you, folks, what are you waiting for? $49 a month, and you get access to every single one of them. Check them out. Okay, go to theappraisercoach.com/products.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit theappraisercoach.com and sign up for the All-Star team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.
If you've read my blog, see, there you go. Folks, there's all kinds of technology out there. You don't have to, sorry, editor. Had a hiccup. Folks, sorry, let me back up one more time. I could feel another hiccup coming. Whew. Okay, here we go.